So, how to spot a meth house. This is the fun one. This is the one everybody's interested in. So, as a meth remediator with a number of years experience, and I did more than enough homes. I didn't count, but we'll say it's well over 100. Enough for me to know what I'm talking about. So, I originally went into these homes thinking, okay, yes, I have a job to do. Yes, I need to do the decontamination, but what can I learn from this home that makes me a better home inspector so that I can find the home that's more likely to be contaminated as I'm doing the inspection? And I definitely learned some things. 4 items. So first item is a property that is trashed, or also in this category, a property that perhaps used to be trashed and now it's cleaned up. So, and usually, in this category, it's the latter. Quite often you'll see where a property might have been bought by maybe a flipper, or maybe the place just for whatever reason was trashed. The seller will often recognize that the place is way too abused to try and sell it, so they will completely go through the place, make it gorgeous. So as I'm going in, the number one item, the first item I'm looking for is the place trashed or is it gorgeous? And to me, that's the same thing, because meth heads are hard on places, and after they leave, it's got to be cleaned up. So you're also in this category. You're looking for needles and stains. You're looking for smells and scrawls. You're looking for maybe if the original carpet is still there. You're looking for just general nastiness. I couldn't begin to describe. There's been a couple of homes where there was actually feces in the corner of the living room. Somebody didn't make it, and I don't know if it was human feces or if it was animal feces. I didn't try to get close enough to determine, but I guess it kind of doesn't matter. I mean, it's feces in the living room, and somebody was too high to clean that up, and yeah, it's just gross. So again, number one, properties that are trashed. The next one is cat urine. It's kind of a cat urine smell. It's not exactly like that, but it's close. And so, I mentioned my buddy that had been the meth head, and I said, why do meth homes smell like cat urine? He actually said the reason why these homes will smell like cat urine is because meth itself smells a little bit like that. And secondly, people that are high and crashed out on the floor, they don't make it to the bathroom. They'll go right there on the floor, and of course that urine smell is, what it is. So the cat urine is number 2. Now, quick story, I actually went into a home as a part of a home inspection where somebody had actually thrown a cat into this vacant apartment to try and cover the heavy cat urine smell. Obviously, the cat had to go potty in there. I don't know how many days that cat had been in there. He looked very skinny. That's an evil thing, of course, to do with a cat, but welcome to meth head world. So I saw this cat go bolting out as soon as I opened the door. That cat was gone. And yes, the place smelled like cat urine. Now, me having been around the block once, I kind of figured that the cat urine smell might not actually be cat urine, that it might actually be meth, so I sampled it, and sure enough, meth contaminated. Pretty heavy. It might have actually been a lab. So, boy, the stories I could tell. Sometimes it reeks. Now, be careful with this one, because if the property has been spiffed up, sometimes that urine smell is gone because the carpet's gone and it's been months, and so that cat urine smell may not be there. But the urine smell is item number 2. The third one is a property that is small, old, foreclosed apartments or rentals. Now, I know that's a wide reach, but what I find is that meth heads either want to pay little rent or no rent, or maybe there is rent and they just have a sob story until they get kicked out. Sometimes that can be quite a while. Again, the stories I could tell you, but I have any number of stories where either the kindly mother lets the loser's son maybe live in the basement or live in a home that she moved away from, or in one case there's a U of U surgeon who lets the loser's son live in his former home. The surgeon moves to Park City, lets the guy live in, these are all scenarios where the meth head has a sob story and he can't get a job, blah, blah, blah. And so he stays in this home for free and he uses all of his money on meth. The reason why I bring this up is, a property that is small, old foreclosed apartments, rentals. In many cases, it's a rental. Rental sometimes, of course, being free rent. But as I walk up to my home inspections, I will always ask, what's the history of this home? Yesterday, for example, it was, they've lived here for 15 years, and that made me feel good because those guys have been making their house payments for a while. And then I heard them say, and then they let their son live here just live here for the last 6 months. And then they put it up for sale. And all of my good feelings go away. And I thought, oh, loser son, meth head, and now we need to do the math test. We'll find out how that one turns out. So that's item number 3, small, old, foreclosed apartments. And this one is bold and underlined, rentals. Number 4 is what I call signs of anger, which is damaged doors, damaged door frames, damaged sheetrock, or brand new doors and door frames or sheetrock. But most importantly, the doors. You can see, and this is very common in meth contaminated properties, where the doors are just abused. One of the homes that I did, I understood that the kid was about 135 pounds. And he had shredded the bedroom doors. Now, this was one of my moments of stupidity, so I thought, okay, I'm throwing this door away anyway, disposing of it as hazardous waste. I'm going to see how much force it took him. So he weighed 135, I weigh 220 now, and I put on a glove and I thought, okay, I'm going to see what I can do to this door. He had put his fist all the way through both panels of that door, all the way through. And so I put on a glove and I punched, and I dented the first side, and I didn't come anywhere near getting into the second side, and even with the glove on, I hurt my hand. I mean, that is the superhuman strength that a meth head has, and I understand that's because when they're on the downhill side of the high, they get very angry. But he talks about how he tried to kill his wife because she said the wrong thing at the wrong time, and so he tried to throw a TV at her in the tub. Welcome to meth head world. It's horrifying. So, shredded door. Now, again, to revisit this, we've got properties that are trashed, cat urine smell, small old foreclosed apartments and rentals, and signs of anger. Now, be aware that whether the property has 0 of these signs or 4 of these signs, that doesn't mean that the property is contaminated. But the more of these signs there are, the more you should be thinking as a realtor, and the more your home inspector should be guiding the buyer towards doing a sample set. Again, all 4 doesn't mean that the property is or is not contaminated, but it underlines the need to do sampling on the home to find out if it actually is contaminated. Next section, we're going to talk about how to do the sampling. We'll be right back.